It's a war. You've had it right. It's a battlefield out there.
It is.
Yes.
What makes it, Kendra, a battlefield?
I think now because of social media, it's the gift and the curse because now we're all connected. But that fine man you had to worry about just in New York, no, he worldwide now. He got girls in Italy, Mexico, California. So the guy that most women want, he has so many options. And every woman wants the same man child. I don't care if she work at the Piggly Wiggly or she's the corporate lawyer on Wall Street. She want her a rich man, and that's just what it is.
Really?
Yeah, girl.
So she said that most women want the same man.
That's
Most
true.
women want the same man. Do you guys agree with that statement? Do you think that women that are dating are looking for the same man, or do you think they're looking for the man that's good for them?
Before they even go into it, I agree. I personally agree that most women, actually, if all women are looking for the same kind of man. Now, the difference is they all cannot get that kind of man. So let's say she's looking for a guy who is 6 feet tall. She may never get him. So she has to settle with a guy who's 5'8". Let's say she's looking for a guy who makes $1 million. She may never get him. So she may have to settle for a guy who makes $500,000 a year, or 250,000 or 100,000. Because they may want that kind of man, but those kind of men are very few. We're talking about even less than 10% when it comes to height. He's good looking, he has the money, he can spoil, because he may have the money, but if he's not going to be generous and spoil her, that may not be her kind of man. So that's why I believe they are all looking for the same kind of man. But let's see what the panel says. Shout out to Lapif, by the way. Link down below.
I think that women are looking for what's good for them, not necessarily the same man. Now, there are certain women that are looking for men with money, but there are certain women that are just looking for men that'll treat them right. So it really just depends on the woman and what her preferences are. In my what I'm used to in my group, the women that I know, they're just looking for men that are good for them. He doesn't have to come with a lot of money or a lot of stature or a lot of power. It just has to be a good man. So I don't think all women are looking for the same thing.
They are. So she's trying to remove the part of the money, but let's say he has the money or he doesn't have the money. You still want him to be a good man. I've never heard of a woman who says, I want a man who's not good for me. So clearly they're all looking for the same kind of man, whether it's about the money, whether it's about the height, whether it's about treating them right, treating them good, like she said. They are looking for the same kind of man. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Mayor, how's everything in your culture? Are the women looking for the same man, or do you think that a lot of the men stand out in different ways?
Women are looking for the same qualities, but not the same men. When I say that, I mean they want the same qualities. Like, you want a man that's not a loser, that is hopefully a hard worker, that can hopefully care for you, but to the extremes of being rich, I don't think that every woman is looking for the filthy rich man, because a lot of women see what comes with that. And a lot of women understand what comes with that. But then again, a lot of women are stupid. I mean, I would say the majority of women are stupid. And a lot of
I mean, I don't know about the majority of women being stupid, right? But I believe they are all looking for the same kind of man because they are all looking for the same qualities. Now, they may, in fact, I believe all women are looking for a rich man. The question is, they at some point they realize they will never get a rich man, so they have to settle with a guy who is not completely a bum, but he makes some kind of money. Because they all can't get rich men. We don't have enough rich men for every woman.
times money is blinding. So they're looking for the same qualities, but not exactly the same man.
All right, let me get a man's perspective on that. What do you, Darwin? What do you think about women when it comes to what they're looking for? Are they looking for the same man, a particular man? What are your thoughts?
I would say that they are looking for a man that's capable of providing a lifestyle, providing protection, leading a family. I think it's safe to say that most women are looking for that. But I do think that they also attaching material desires to that as well, which actually amplifies what he has to bring to the table. So now he's got to hit a certain threshold of earnings to be able to compensate for what she attaches to, just the foundations that the man just need to have necessary for him to lead a family. But I also think it all depends on what group of women you're referring to, because I think it's unfair to lump all women into the same category as a Kendra G. Because I think it's safe to say that not every woman is moving like the Kendra or have the same appetite or been exposed to the same plethora of men as Kendra G. You know what I'm saying? Those women typically want to date up. I think they got a fair share of men at a certain level of salary or a certain level of richness to where it makes sense for her to make statements like that. I want a rich man. I mean, look at the group that if you look at a group of girls that's not even on that level, just regular working class girls, I don't think they talk like that. But whenever you look at a girl, you look at girls that's already millionaires, then I think it makes sense for you to hear that statement come out from that group. I want a rich man because, what's the next level? Like if a woman is supposed to be looking for hypergamous or looking at a man that's superior to her, it only makes sense for her to go after somebody of a higher status. And so you get the statements, I want a rich man. So at this point of the conversation, I don't find nothing wrong with it. But it's sad that, that I don't know how old she is, but it's sad that she's at this stage in her life and haven't figured it out yet.
I agree with Kendra G, honestly. And the reason I agree with Kendra G is all women want a rich man. That's one. Number two, that doesn't mean they will all get rich men. Number three, that does not mean if they don't get a rich man, they cannot settle with a guy who doesn't have so much money, but is stable enough. So in other words, we all as humans want the best of the best, not even just women. Men want the most beautiful women, but we know we cannot get all the time. Not all of us are going to get the most beautiful women. So we at some point in our lives have to look in the mirror and be like, okay, I want a Beyonce kind of woman, but maybe I cannot get her. Maybe I'll never get her. I may have to just look at her from afar, but I'll deal with Sarah here, who's not ugly, but she's good looking enough. And then I'll go with her and start a family if I so choose, right? So that's why I say all women want a rich man, but doesn't mean they will all get a rich man. In other words, they would all wish and hope, they would all love to have a rich man. That doesn't mean they are chasing after a rich man. They would all love to have a man who, finds the lifestyle, vacation, nice car, nice house. But let's be realistic. We don't have enough of those men. So some women just realize, you know what? We don't have enough men going around. I'll get the next boogie. He's not broke, but he's good enough. We can put our money together and build a family. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss Dasimo. What are your thoughts about women out here dating? What type of man are they looking for? Is it all the same? What are your thoughts?
I think women are very diverse in their dating pool. But what she was talking about specifically, I guess, like women who be like searching and looking and like, I do think it's I don't think it's all women. I do think it's a lot of women out there who target men with money. And I don't even think it's just all rich women. It's like the gold diggers, the one who just feel like you should pay for me, you should give me this date, you should give me this, you should give me that. And I feel like I do feel like more than enough women do it to the point where it's like you're not even dating, like you're asking him to do something that you can't do for yourself. You asking for a man that you can't even hold an intellectual conversation with because he's so far advanced than you. And that's why she was like, y'all gotta be careful because they out here looking because it's probably the woman that probably made her leave her man was somebody she probably didn't feel was like any competition, you know. And when it gets to that point, that range that go for that man is just not people that's equal to his level, but it's people that's, lower too. So I think the way, in a sense, she was saying, like somebody that's gonna chase, like it's women out there that'll chase your man if you rich, even if he in a relationship, even if he married. Like, watch out, because those men, they're getting it thrown at them a lot. And a lot of women who do care about those worldly things, or um even the ones like Darwin was said, like they're used to doing this, so they're looking for a certain caliber, like they gonna come for him. And you gotta beware, because there's definitely women out there. So you make sure, if you got you a rich one, make sure you're doing your man right. Make sure you're doing what he needs. Make sure his mental, his spiritual, everything that he's requiring of you is taken care of, because somebody gonna slip in there.
All right, go ahead, Will.
I mean, I kind of agree with what you said. There are levels. For me personally, like I said, all women want a rich man. Some women will directly say they want a rich man. Some women will hope for it. Some women don't feel entitled. Some women feel entitled to a rich man, like she said, But all women would want to get the best of a man they can get. But like I said, what you wish for, what you hope for, what you want, sadly enough for women, they may want a rich man and 10 rich men may pass in front of them, but very few, 1 out of 10 will have the guts to approach the man. So at the end of the day, they may want the man, but at the end of the day, the man has to want them back to be able to approach them, because few women are going to approach the man. So they may still want the man, and God will give them 20 rich men walking right in front of them, and they won't approach none, and they will still want a rich man. So at the end of the day, not every woman will get a rich man.
Well, good evening, everybody. I think we should not waste time talking about women in general, and we should talk about the single women, because the women who aren't single actually got who they looking for, whether it's the high value man, the low value man, the dope boy, the ball player, what have you. And I do believe that majority of the women who are single are looking for the same kind of man. I believe they don't know what a man is, and therefore they attach themselves, or they try to attach themselves to, and try to use hypergamy, but they try to do it in terms of fun, excitement, not necessarily money, because women don't know how to figure out if men really have money. There's no, most dudes don't, unless they tell them. I mean, what, you gonna have access to his tax returns, his bank records? You don't know who have money and who don't. Most of these dudes are out here lying, and most of these dudes out here living on credit. So at the end of the day, women are trying to find the best deal they can get, and they're usually going after the same thing because they all identify the same pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They all think they know what it looks like, and so they're all going for the same pot of gold. End up with the same type of dude.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
I would like to add one thing before anybody else go. I do notice that whenever you have a group of, whenever you have a consistency of men coming into the dating atmosphere that doesn't provide anything other than his resources as something that's substantial to the woman, I think by default, then they just start programming them to think that that's what they should go for. Because we got to be honest, there is a lot of men that's not necessarily leading with any principles or a woman to value enough to get into a relationship with, and all she can look at is stability. So you that might have a play on their mindset on their selective process. Or how they,
No, I think women naturally just look for the stability, honestly. Whether a man shows it or he doesn't, they they don't want struggle love. That's gonna be the truth, you know. Especially if she doesn't have struggle love. Now, especially if she's not struggling, but if she's already struggling, then maybe she may take the struggle love. But even then, there's a time limit when the man should get his shit together. Anyway, man, shout out to Lapif. What do you guys think? Comment down below, subscribe. I'll put the link down below to Lapif's channel.